Hello students, I, Mrs. Madhavi Mhatre, welcome you all in the next lecture of Mathematics 1. We are studying chapter number 2, that is quadratic equations. And in that we are solving problem set 2. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the MCQs, question number 1, multiple choice questions. Then question number 2 to 6, they are very much similar to the questions which are there in practice set. And I told you previously that the like questions from the problem set you are going to solve by yourself. So I hope you must have practiced it, and if you have not done it, you have to do it by yourself. And if you find any difficulty in solving, you can message me. I will solve your problem. Okay. Now I am moving towards question number 7, where the mixed questions are given under the heading solve the following quadratic equations. Okay, so now here you have to observe the quadratic equations, and accordingly you need to decide whether you are going to use factorization method or you are going to use formula method. Okay, now completing square method is removed. It is not there in the syllabus because of this COVID-19 pandemic. The under the reduction 25% reduction, that method is reduced or removed. Okay, so you are going to think of only two methods, quadratic equations solving by factorization method or by formula method. Okay, generally we are using factorization method only. If it is not applicable, then we have to go for formula method. Okay, so in this question number 7, only question number 1 and 2 which are little bit different. Okay, their form is different, so I am discussing those two questions, and remaining you will solve by yourself. As I have said, just by observing the question, first you try to decide whether you can use the factorization method, and if not possible, if you're not getting the factors, then you have to go for formula method. Okay, so now let's go towards question number 7. I hope all of you must be ready with your textbook, notebook and pen. Okay, so let us start. Question number 7. Solve the following quadratic equations. In that, the very first one is 1 upon x plus 5 is equal to 1 upon x square. So here, presently the equation is not in standard form, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay, instead it is given in the fractional form. So you can go for cross multiplication here, or you can go for inverted though. In ninth standard, we in the chapter ratio and proportion, we have seen the properties of equal ratio there, and there we have seen the properties like alternando, invertendo, componendo, dividendo, and componendo dividendo. So from that, either you can use the property of invertendo, or you can go for cross multiplication in simple words, and then you will get it like this. See, x square is multiplied by 1, so x square you will get, and 1 is multiplied by x plus 5. Okay, so either you can write x plus 5 is equal to x square, or you can write x square is equal to x plus 5. Now after this, we have to write the equation in standard form. So bring all the terms on left hand side and write down equal to 0 on right hand side. Okay, so these two terms we are going to shift here. So the equation is going to become x square minus x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, now as I have said, first you try for factorization method. Think of the factors. So see, you have to observe the last term. It is negative. That means you are going to think of difference. So to think of two numbers whose multiplication is 5 and difference is 1. See, 5 is prime number and only possible factors are about 1 and 5. Correct? So here we cannot get the factors of 5 in such a way that the difference is 1. That means this particular quadratic equation we cannot solve by factorization. So we have to go for formula method. And when you want to go for formula method, immediately you have to compare the standard form with, that is ax square plus bx plus c. The equation you have to compare with standard form, And then you have to write down values of a, b and c. So write down, comparing with x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, we get a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 1 and c is equal to minus 5. Be very careful about minus signs. While writing these coefficients, you need to write it along with the signs. Got it? Now here for formula we need the value of discriminant, that is b square minus 4ac. So immediately you find out the value of b square minus 4ac, that is minus 1 square minus 4 into 1 into minus 5. Here also you can put the bracket if you want. Okay, so minus 1 square is plus 1 and this minus is going to give you plus. So 4 into 1 is 4 and 4 into 5 is 20. So 1 plus 20, the answer is 21. The value of discriminant is 21. Now we have to write down the formula. Okay, formula all of you have to recall. As I have said, you need to by heart it. So make use of the formula, that is x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Okay, so I hope you must have written the formula as a next step. Okay, so this is the formula. Be very careful about signs also. Here you have minus b, so don't forget that. And here you have plus and minus. Now let's put the values. Value of b is minus 1. But outside here minus sign is there. So always make use of bracket. This minus sign is from the formula. And the value of b is minus 1. So that you need to write very carefully. Then plus or minus as it is. And value of b square minus 4ac we found out that is 21. Upon 2 into a means 2 into 1. Now this minus and this minus is going to give you plus. You can write it as plus 1. And 2 into 1 you can write as 2. Okay. Further this 21, you know that 21 we can factorize as 7 into 3. 7 is also prime, 3 is also prime. So it is not possible for us to factorize 21 in such a way that one factor is a perfect square. We cannot simplify it further. That is why it is going to remain as it is. Finally, while writing the answer, you have to write down the two roots by using this plus or minus sign. Once you are going to use plus sign and once you are going to use minus sign. Okay. So we can write down the two answers, that x is equal to 1 plus root 21 divided by 2 or x is equal to 1 minus root 21 divided by 2. Okay. So in this way the sum was little bit different. It was not in standard form. So I discussed it. And now let us go towards the second one, which is also not in the standard form or in the simple form. And remaining all sums you can solve in the similar way because they are not that difficult. They are already given as a straight equation. You don't have to convert it, only you have to convert to standard form and then you have to solve by observing and you have to use any one method. Okay, let us go towards the second one now. X square minus 3x upon 10 minus 1 upon 10 is equal to 0. See, here also we can see fractions are there, and whenever there are fraction, we always try to eliminate the denominator. If we have different numbers, then we are thinking of LCM of those numbers and then we are multiplying by that number. But here now the number is same. So we have to multiply both the sides of equation by 10 so that we can eliminate or remove this 10 from the denominator. Okay, so your very first step is what? Multiplying both sides by 10. And when we multiply here, to the first term, if we multiply here, we will get 10x square. Here if we multiply, then 10 and 10 will get cancelled. And simply minus 3x will be left out. Similarly, here also if we multiply by 10, 10 and 10 will get cancelled and we will be left with minus 1. Okay. So our equation will be like this. 10x square minus 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. Now observe, is it in standard form? Yes, it is in standard form. That is x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now the next step is to solve it. Okay, so you can think of the factorization method first. As I have said, it is simplest one. So in that case, you know that we are multiplying the values of a and c. So here value of a is 10 and c is minus 1. So 10 into minus 1, we are going to get minus 10. So think of two numbers whose multiplication is 10 and difference is 3. Can you find two numbers? Yes, we know that 5 twos are 10 and 5 minus 2 is 3. So we have the numbers 5 and 2. Now we have to decide the sign. See, the middle term is negative. That means the sign of bigger number is negative. So the factors of minus 10 we are going to get as minus 5 and plus 2. So this middle term we will split as minus 5x plus 2x. Okay, see. So see the first term 10x square written as it is. Minus 3x is split as minus 5x plus 2x and then minus 1 as it is. And don't forget to write down equal to 0. It's an equation, so you need to have equal to sign. Now the next step is to group of first two terms and group of last two terms. And then we have to take out common. So here we can find that 5 and 10, they are in the table of 5. So we can take number 5 as common and we can take x as common. So from these two terms, we can take out 5x as common. And here 2x and minus 1, nothing is common. So if nothing is common, we have to take 1 as a common. Okay, because 1 is a factor of each and every number. So let us take out common. From here 5x is taken out common. So inside the bracket we are left with 2x minus 1. Here plus 1 is taken out common and inside we are having again 2x minus 1 and then equal to 0. Okay. Now here this same bracket again we will take out common and remaining terms we will write down in the second bracket. Okay. So in this way the polynomial 10x square minus 3x minus 1 is factorized as 2x minus 1 and 5x plus 1. Then after getting these two brackets or two factors, our next step, which is very much regular, that we are going to go for either or. That is either 2x minus 1 is equal to 0 or 5x plus 1 is equal to 0. And from that we will get 2x is equal to plus 1. This minus 1 is shifted, so plus 1 we got. And here this plus 1 is shifted to RHS and we got minus 1 here. And from that we get value of x as plus 1 upon 2 or value of x as minus 1 upon 5. Okay. So in this way we got two values or two solutions for this particular equation. Okay. So here by making the small changes you can get the answer, but you have to be very careful about finding the factors. Generally when the value of a is not 1, that time you should not forget to multiply these two numbers and then only you can split the middle term. Okay, so take care of this. Got it? So I hope you must have copied it. Now remaining sums 3 onwards, I think there are 6 sums in this particular question. You have to solve by yourself. As I have said previously also, if you find any difficulty, you can message me on the WhatsApp. You can message on my personal number. Okay. And then I will give you the solution. Now, let's go further. Question number 8. Question number 8 onwards, you will find that the questions are in the form of word problems. That means application is there. Now this question number 8 is very important. Mark it as an important question. It has asked several times in board exams. Okay. So let us see now how to solve this question. When we have solved practice set 2.5, that time I told you that the similar sum is there in practice set. When we solved 2.5, there the question was if the equations has the real and equal roots, find the value of k was there. But here now m is there, the variable is different, unknown is different. Okay. So let us see. Find m if m minus 12x square plus 2m minus 12x plus 2 is equal to 0 has real and equal roots. See, real and equal roots is given. That means the nature of the roots is provided. So you have to recall that particular topic, that when the nature of the roots is decided, what we have to find, or by what factor the nature of the roots is decided. So the nature of the roots is decided by the factor delta, that is discriminant. And for discriminant we have three possibilities. First possibility, if delta is positive, the equation has real and unequal roots. If delta is negative, then the equation has no real roots. And if delta is 0, then the equation has real and equal roots. So if the condition is provided here that the equation has real and equal roots, that means the value of discriminant, that is delta, is equal to 0. So we have to make use of that. And for finding delta, that is b square minus 4ac, first of all we have to compare the equation with standard form, and we have to write values of a, b and c. Okay. So as a first step, you have to write down the given equation, okay, as it is. And afterwards, you have to observe whether it is in standard form or not. Okay. So first step, you write down the equation as it is. It is in standard form, so compare it with x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And from that we get value of a as m minus 12, the coefficient of x square. Value of b is 2 inside the bracket m minus 12, and c is 2. Now after this we have to write down the discriminant, that is delta, which is equal to b square minus 4ac. Now let us substitute these values. Okay, so in place of b you will write 2 inside the bracket m minus 12. So write down the square bracket, and inside that you write down value of b and then square it, because the square is for both the terms. So writing it in square bracket is very important, as I have said previously also, that if you are not writing bracket here, the meaning of that particular step changes. Then minus 4 as it is into value of a is again minus m minus 12, and value of c is 2. Okay. Now here either you can simplify delta here and then you can write down equal to 0, or at this stage only you can write down that since the equation has real and equal roots, delta is equal to 0. Then you write down this quantity as 0, and then by taking out common also you can solve it. Like here, if you observe, 2 square is 4. And here this bracket you can write as m minus 12 the whole square. So here in these two terms you can find that 4 is common and m minus 12 is common. So one can solve by taking out common also. Okay. But if you cannot go for that, you simplify it here only. So let us do it. 2 square is what? 4, and this bracket we will expand, okay, by using the formula a minus b the whole square, that is a square minus 2ab plus b square. So this we can expand as m square minus 24m plus 144. Okay, a square minus 2ab plus b square. So all these expansion formulas are very important. So all of you must know them. So see, once again 2 square is 4, and this bracket square we are going to get 3 terms like this. And here this 4 into 2 is 8, minus sign as it is, and this m minus 12 is written in the bracket only. Now let us expand these brackets again. So here we will get 4m square minus 96m plus 576, and here when you open this bracket minus 8m, and minus 8 into minus 12 you are going to get 96. Now see this 96 and minus 8m, 96m and minus 8m, they are like terms, so we can add them. And here also these two numbers we can add. So we will get value of delta as 4m square minus 104m plus 672. Okay, so as I have said, you can write down equal to 0 at this step also, and then taking out common also is possible. That is one way to solve, or the simplest way or the straight way which one can think of, that is expanding and getting the value like this. Now you can write down the condition that the equation has real and equal roots, and therefore delta is equal to 0. Okay, so this you need to write that why you are taking this as 0. So justify that since it is given that the equation has real and equal roots, delta must be 0 or delta is equal to 0. So value of this particular term is 0 now. Okay, you can write it like this. Therefore 4m square minus 104m plus 672 is equal to 0. Now what we can find here is all these three numbers are divisible by 4. You can simplify it further. So you divide by 4 and express it in the simplest form. So when you will divide it by 4, you will get m square minus 26m plus 168 is equal to 0. So this is your quadratic equation. Now think of solving it. So first we will think of factorization method. So here the coefficient is 1. So we have to think of this number. Two numbers whose multiplication is 168 and addition is 26. Okay, since here we have plus sign, we are going to think of addition. We want addition 26 and multiplication 168, and since the middle term is negative, the both the numbers are going to be negative. Okay, so if you cannot think it immediately, then I told you that 168 you write here and you factorize, find the factors, and then you can find the factors. But here now 26 we can write as 14 plus 12. 14 into 12 is 168. So minus 26 we can split as minus 14 minus 12. Okay. So in this way we have to decide the factors of 168. So our next step is this. First term as it is, m square minus 26m is written as minus 14m minus 12m plus 168 as it is and equal to 0. Now take out common. So here you will find that m is common, and inside the bracket you will get m minus 12, and here you will find that minus 12 is common, and then inside the bracket you will get m minus 14. Now this m minus 14 we will write in one bracket, and remaining terms m minus 12, those we will write in second bracket. Okay, so m minus 14 and m minus 12 are the factors for this particular polynomial. Now after this you have to follow our regular step, that either m minus 14 is 0 or m minus 12 is 0. Therefore m is equal to 14 or m is equal to 12. Now after this also we don't have to stop. We have to check for a is equal to. As I have said, if unknown is present at the place of a, then we have to check whether for any value a is going to become 0, because for quadratic equation a cannot be 0. We have written the standard form that ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and condition is that a cannot be 0. So we have to check for a. So let us check for, see what is value of a we have seen there. It is m minus 12. So we will check for 12. So see, since here m minus 12 is a, so if we take m as 12, then 12 minus 12 is going to become 0. And for quadratic equation, a cannot be 0. And therefore, value of m cannot be 12. And therefore, the acceptable value of m is 14. So, you need to justify this here. Don't stop here. That even though we are getting two values, then this m is equal to 12. We cannot accept it, because for m is equal to 12, value of a becomes 0, which is not acceptable for the quadratic equation, and therefore m can have only one value, that is m is equal to 14. Okay, so this way you are going to solve it. As I have said, it is an important sum, so all of you please copy it down. If you have copied it down along with me, it is better. If you have not done, you pause the video and copy it. Okay, now let's go further towards the next sum. It's a application of quadratic equation, that means word problems. We have to read the problem, and from that we have to frame the quadratic equation, and then we need to solve it. The sum of two roots of a quadratic equation is 5, and sum of their cubes is 35. Find the equation. Okay, so here see, it is discussed about two roots. We know that alpha and beta are called as two roots of the equation. So whenever the question comes about the two roots of the quadratic equation and they have asked us to find the equation, so you have to immediately recall the equation, that how to frame the quadratic equation when the roots are provided. That means alpha and beta are provided. So you have to recall that the quadratic equation is given by x square minus alpha plus beta outside the bracket x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. That means to write down the equation, to frame the equation here, we want the sum of the roots which is provided, and we want product of the roots. Product of the roots is not provided, but we have some other condition, and from that we can find that product. Okay, so let us write down that if such question appears, then you will always start with let alpha and beta be the roots of the quadratic equation. Now from the given condition, we can write down that alpha plus beta is 5, and sum of their cubes means alpha cube plus beta cube is equal to 35. These two things are given to us. Now, as I have said, for writing the equation, we want the sum of the roots and product of the roots. That means alpha plus beta and alpha beta. Alpha plus beta we have, and alpha beta we need to find. So here you can see the cube is there. So you immediately you go for the identity a plus b the whole cube. Just recall that identity a plus b the whole cube. In the beginning, I gave these identities and I told you that you need to by heart them, you require them. Okay. Also, I gave the transformation for that. You can change it. So, the same identity, we can write it like this. See, just recall this identity. A plus B the whole cube, here in place of A, alpha is there, and in place of B, beta is there. So, alpha plus beta the whole cube, how you are writing? Alpha cube plus beta cube, which are present here, plus 3 alpha beta inside the bracket alpha plus beta. See, this particular term is on left hand side. Take it this side. Okay. And then you are going to get the expansion. See, this particular term you can shift to left hand side. So, alpha plus beta the whole cube is equal to alpha cube plus beta cube plus 3 alpha plus beta. Okay, and afterwards it is transformed. See, alpha plus beta cube is written here and alpha plus beta is written here. See, here actually it is transformed, but if you use that identity as it is, then also it will do. You can write down the expansion formula as it is. Alpha plus beta the whole cube is equal to alpha cube plus beta cube plus 3 alpha beta inside the bracket alpha plus beta. Then also you are going to get the answer. Now let us put the values here. Alpha cube plus beta cube is 35. So here you can write 35. Here in place of alpha plus beta you can write down 5. So you will get 5 cube here. Minus 3 alpha beta as it is, and here this bracket you can replace by 5 again. So you can substitute the values here and you will get it like this. 5 cube is 125, and here minus 3 alpha beta into 5 we are going to get minus 15 alpha beta. Okay, now this 15 alpha beta we can shift to LHS and 35 we can shift here. So we will get 15 alpha beta is equal to 125 minus 35, that is 90. And from that alpha beta is equal to 90 divided by 15, that is equal to 6. Okay. Now see, now we know alpha plus beta and we know alpha beta also. So we can write down the required equation. And for that you have to write down this statement that therefore the required equation is x square minus alpha plus beta outside the bracket x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. Now simply put the values. Alpha plus beta is 5. So write down 5 here. And alpha beta is 6. So the required equation is x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay. So try to understand this step. Go through that identity and you will understand that how it is written. As I have said, you can use the identity as it is also. Okay. You cannot, if you want, you shift it or you transform it, or you can use it as it is also. Okay, so I hope you have understood it. This question also is important. By changing the numbers also this question is can be asked in board exams, so practice it. Students, remaining questions we will discuss in next lecture. Today I am stopping here. Till that, you stay home, stay safe, take care of yourself. Thank you, students.